Hello y'all, welcome to part 4 of my USA Monarchist Path playthrough in the Hearts of Iron 4 mod Novum Vexillum. I am also using Novum Vexillum Global Conflict, which is a sub-mod for Novum Vexillum, as you could probably guess by the name. But anyway, in part 3, we invaded Iraq and this place where we kicked out Saddam Hussein, and now American Iraq is a puppet and they're monarchist, and Kurdistan also became our puppet as well. Well, effectively, they are a puppet of Iraq, who is a puppet of us. So they basically are, in practice, our puppet in a way. But also in part 3, we had the monarchists came into power. We also elected a monarch. We have a king now, and that is Donald Trump the first. And at this point in time, in the focus tree, let's complete the White Palace. The house of the American presidency, the White House, is in no way fit for royalty. To place our ruler in a house that size is disgraceful. Are you kidding me? The White House is pretty big, I'm not going to lie. Major construction and expansion must be put forth to create a palace fit for royalty. And we'll get an event from this focus once it's done. And we'll also get a national spirit too, which will grant us higher political power gain and ideology drift defense, and we'll get 200 political power. So do that focus now. We have outdated equipment. Oh yeah, don't worry about that. That's some old planes. Doctrines available. Unlock dive bombing. Good. And what do we do with our military now? In part 3, since we had the monarchists came to power in the USA, NATO kind of died for the most part. It's just us and our puppets now, but it still technically is a faction. And now let's unpause. There is a few wars going on, and that is, well, one's like, for example, between Burma/Myanmar and Bangladesh, and in Africa there is a conflict between, let me see here, a conflict between the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and the Republic of Senegal. So that is, they are guaranteed by France though, so I don't know. I guess Mauritania is not really fighting France for some reason. It's whatever though. I just wanted to point out those wars that are taking place in the world as we speak now. In the focus tree, let's research improved ship torpedo launcher, doctrines available, land doctrine unlock, delay, and that we are doing superior firepower. What do I do with my military now? Let's just send them all to border Canada or maybe Mexico. Let's go border Mexico for now. Just send the entire U.S. military off to do that. And we'll be doing that for some time because we have a little bit more to do until we can we can get down here and start trying to put monarchies in power in different parts of the world. Like, we got to complete the American Empire, I think, as well as some other things. Yeah, it's gonna be a while until we get down here. Yeah, let's do strike Europe probably, and that would take probably, well, that would most likely be 70, 140, 20, 240, 300, like a year. We gotta wait a year until we can get that far down. So we're gonna have to find something to do in the meantime. Can we perhaps intervene in any wars? The euro is a thing now. Japan's declaration of abandonment of Dokdo, that's some rocks or something, I think. Europe grows stronger or something due to the euro. And Palestine refuses British-Norwegian royal wedding has occurred. And Palestine refuses Israeli demands. Interesting. So that's happening. And Kurdistan was in a war with Iran, but it came to an end. And that we sort of saved Iran effectively. Guantanamo Bay Detention Center. We shall do whatever to give us some base stability, please. Nice. And Cuba does not like the fact that Guantanamo Bay Detention Center exists, but they can get over it because we need stability. And let me research Rangers, get that done. They're like special forces troops in this mod. Also, can I research? What can I research here? More stuff, always more stuff. Let's get cavitating warheads. Research that. And the reason why I'm getting so much naval tech, why I'm dedicating so many research slots to stuff relating to the nautical enterprises, is that a lot of the stuff in my focus tree, well, the research tree, it's too far ahead for us to really do in a very practical amount of time. And a libertarian news station funds new facilities. That has happened. And now, events or decision timeout, don't worry about that. Missing equipment production, I need light tanks. I am in fact missing light tanks, apparently. So what are our light tanks anyway? Are they... I guess they are Bradleys? The M3 Bradley CFV, maybe? Yeah, it seems like that. Anything else? Okay, we're missing some aircraft carrier stuff. Salt Lake City Olympics, that happened. And the White Palace is complete. Zara Yaqub returns to Ethiopia, so Ethiopia is going to restore its monarchy. The Emperor strikes back. The White Palace, construction of the palace of the American monarch, has been completed. That's pretty quick for 70 days. Located in the nation's capital, the White Palace was once the home of the American president, but has since been overhauled into an elegant palace fit for royalty. The monarch of America now rules comfortably over their realm from the throne of the White Palace. And that's interesting. Somebody dominates Japan, and Japanese democracy has died. The Revolutionary Army is in charge. What kind of flag? Oh my goodness gracious. So we have nationalists in charge of the Empire of Japan now. We are guaranteeing the Japanese, though. And let's complete the focus. Centralize the nation. It says there in the description, it says, in order for our highness to gain absolute power of the country, all levels of government must be abolished. Power will be completely centralized into the hands of the monarch. And from this focus, we'll get some political power and some base stability. And I have some political power, speaking of which. Let me get a political advisor. Let's go with, say, who can we get here that would be useful to us? Let's go with who can I get here? Anybody? Go with Alberto Gonzalez. No, that's not going to work. I don't need drift towards a certain ideology. Let's go with James Mattis for whatever. He's a war industrialist. He'll help us with building military factories, dockyards, and fuel silos. So that's going to help us out. And now, what is going on? Let me check on Ethiopia. They got a monarch once more. Haile Selassie would be proud, maybe. But now, yeah, the Ethiopian Empire is back. I wonder if they're going to get into any fights with their neighbors. I don't know. Very curious to see what happens there. Japan, I imagine, will most likely try to expand, since, I don't know, the last time Japan had that flag, they kind of invaded a few places, memories of Pearl Harbor, and we still need Japan. Yeah, there's no need to just suspend our relations with them just because of memories of Pearl Harbor. Pragmatism is important to have in the modern age. And now, modified officer corps, chief of the army. Let's go with army offense. Army chief offensive guy. He's our army chief. That is his name. Army chief offensive. He will lead the way for us. And how is Europe doing? Like I said, NATO is dead. So I'm very curious to see what all of the former NATO members will do. They have no faction now. They can basically do whatever they please. And that is going to be something very interesting to see effectively. We're also going to have to maybe form our own alliance, but let's not worry about that for now. And centralize the nation will take some time to get done. Can I get involved in any conflicts at all? I don't think so. How's Myanmar and Bangladesh going? I think Bangladesh took some provinces. Yeah, they're advancing, or they lost some ground just now. They are in Chin as well as Rakhine. They're making some push there. And here's some more infantry. It is an infantry division, although it's technically called a motorized division. I mean, it's technically an infantry division. Oh, Japan adapts Article 9, and they are remilitarizing. They are doing that. I won't be surprised if they want to get rid of our alliance. That could be bad, but well, it might not be too bad for us, but if it happens, it happens. And centralize the nation is going to be done shortly, I hope. Please get there. 30 more days. We got to wait 30 days. Modify officer corps. Military high command. Go with Army Republic of Niger. Declared war on the state of Burkina Faso. That's in West Africa. Conflict going on there. Let's get a artillery high command now. And yeah, here is Burkina Faso. Well, no, that's Benin. That's not right. Here is where are they at? Here is Burkina Faso, state of Burkina Faso, versus the Republic of Niger. So we have conservatives versus nationalists. That's what that is about there. Well, it's a war between two countries, but I'm just saying that's the ruling ideology. Niger is conservative in terms of ruling ideology, and Burkina Faso is nationalist. And that's the ruling ideologies of those two nations. And now in the research tree, what can we do? Let me research some stuff relating to radar stations. And we are building tons of nuclear reactors. Those are coming along well, it looks like. So we should have some nukes relatively soon. We can deploy them whenever we want to just blow away a good portion of the enemies we could face down the line. Get Gen 2 night vision researched. I'm hoping to have at least one nuke per month. That is the ideal for us. And a reactionary news station funds new facilities, whatever American, centralized nation has done. Let's now complete First Amendment revision. And let me read the focus description here. Well, it says, what is this, about age of the Ryukyu Republic? That's a nation that broke off, that's a country that broke off from Japan, or they declared independence or whatever. Anyway, while the First Amendment has been a concrete factor in the culture of America, it has unfortunately gone off the deep end. The First Amendment is one of the reasons why, quote, degeneracy is allowed to run rampant in our nation. It allows citizens to say the name of our monarch in vain. We cannot allow that now, can we? And what this will do is basically get rid of the First Amendment national spirit and give us the revised First Amendment national spirit. And besides that, we'll lose some base stability by completing this focus. And what's this about? Fund the bailout for whatever it is. There we go. And it seems the revised First Amendment is much like the first one, except it's not going to allow any criticism of the absolute monarch of the American Empire. And now, can we get a new political advisor? That is the aim. And who can I get here? I need like just a political... Who can I get? I gotta find someone here. Friend of capitalism? No, that's a guy. That's basically a libertarian political advisor. Not looking to become libertarian in this playthrough. Who can I find here? Left-wing reformer? Just a lot of political advisors. Who do I get here? Anybody that is just into constructing stuff really fast. Anyone at all? Okay, forget it. Let me just get a... Let's get a industrial concern. Go with... if monarchy becomes popular enough, let's just get Alkanik early to be the royal aristocrat person, and we'll have more popularity of monarchism now. And the leader of Bhutan just abdicated, I think. What's this about? Partisan Libertarian Company forecloses or something. Don't worry about that. 2002 FIFA World Cup has occurred, and yeah, this is the leader. The king of Bhutan has decided to abdicate his throne, and that has happened in that mountain nation, that mountain country in the Himalayas. And it looks like they may become communist down the line, perhaps. I don't know if it will or not. I thought this was indicating some kind of ideological popularity increase for, say, communism or socialism, but it isn't. Never mind then. And the Kingdom of Spain declared war on the Kingdom of Cuba. And Cuba's not having a fun time. They're not going to have a fun time due to that. I don't know. I guess they're trying to reform. Spain sort of wants a second try. They want a second go around on a Spanish Empire. They want to have their second chance there. They're going to have to fight all their countries in Latin America, I suppose. I wonder if they'll try to fight us. I don't know. They could. That'd be a mistake for them, though. And let me move my navy we have here in this American naval base in the Middle East. Move them back to the USA on the East Coast. Have them set up in Norfolk, which is our massive naval base we're using. And how's our army doing? They're all watching They're watching Mexico at this point in time intensively. There's the entire army is down here. And in the research tree, let us do complete. I don't know, what can we research? First Amendment revision is done. I don't got all day. Find some naval stuff to research, possibly. Come on, there's so much Navy stuff. Come on, anything at all, anything. What can I get here? Never mind, we're already too far ahead. Let me research. Enhanced, no, let's research basic self-prepared air defense system. That's going to be done now. Start researching that. No national focus set. Let's complete the American Empire. Well, the American Emperor focus. The title of king is very underwhelming and is not a deserving title for our great monarch. However, the title of emperor is much more fierce and glorious. Our Highness is now the American Emperor, and this will give us 100 political power and give us a national spirit called the Great Throne, which will grant us higher political power gain and a weekly stability buff of 0.20%, and that will add up in the long term. And I'm bored of watching. My army is going to go from watching Mexico to watching Canada now. Got to keep an eye on both the north and the south. So the entire military is setting out all of its. How many armies are there? How many divisions overall? 85? Yeah, the entire army is on their way to Canada now. And one thing I need to do, I just remembered, I got to move my planes out of Iraq. I do have to do that. These guys here, I used them in the invasion of Iraq, but obviously that's over with, so let's just send them home. And a partisan social liberal news company forecloses, carry on. That's not really important to us. It's not going to be important to a monarchist government anyway. Put all these planes, and I don't know, go to this airbase in Kentucky, set up there, modify officer corps. Spirit of the Academy, let's go with bold attack, perhaps. Yes, do that. And military high command, who can we get here? Let's go with the air trainer high command. Get that guy. Good. And the American Emperor focus is like halfway done, I think. Habitating warheads is done. Also, let's go to air. Go all the way to the right and start researching Cold War attack. Helicopter. Get some research done there. I'm just trying to do everything I can that isn't... We're not going to get a ahead of time penalty. I don't have to deal with that. That's going to be very annoying if I do. And the American Emperor has about 20 days before the focus is done. After that, we'll continue down. Oh, and Burkina Faso lost their war against Niger. We'll continue down the focus tree, down the Monarchist branch, and we'll see what we can do. And how's that war in Asia going between Myanmar, well, the military, what is this exactly? Military Myanmar. It's a junta in charge there, basically. They are, in fact, losing ground. I think, well, the borders, the territorial changes haven't been that serious thus far, but Myanmar is still technically on the back foot. They have lost some territory. And we got our radar station tech researched. Let's now start researching something else, like, say, I researched this, multi-core processors. Yes, multi-core processors, once it is done, will grant us higher research speed. And how is Senegal and Mauritania doing? Senegal is pushing pretty hard. They're right outside the capital of Mauritania now. And that is bad for Mauritania, isn't it? They may become a puppet of their southern neighbor if they lose. That is definitely something they probably do not want. And the American Emperor is done. And now in the focus tree, let's complete Imperial ambition. And it says here, let me read this. If we wish to return to glory, we need to regain our grip on the Americas. Our enemies must cower in fear. And this focus will grant us a national spirit called Imperial Honor, which will do the following. It will give us higher factory output, and it will lower the justified war goal time by 10%, I think. Is that right? Yeah, 10%. And now, modified government once more. Okay, let's go for an industrial concern. Persian Empire is going to fight Iran. There's just recently, in this playthrough, there's already been an Iranian civil war, but they're going for round 2, it looks like. And that is pretty crazy. And the first one had a lot more factions, but this second one, it seems like it's just the Persian Empire and the Islamic Republic of Iran, and I think their ally of Afghanistan. Carry on from this, don't worry about that. Now in the focus tree, let's research this, get that done, and we have some new infantry deployed. Good. More infantry, please. More units overall. Get the IFV whole research. Yeah, so let me check Iran now. Iran is going to be backed by their ally, I think. Yeah, they do have their ally on their side. And the Persian Empire is fascist, so it's fascist versus the fundamentalist. And the Kingdom of Spain continues their hopes of recreating the Spanish Empire by declaring war on Venezuela. They still haven't even taken Cuba yet. It seems like they're just completing the focuses that give them war goals and just declaring war as they see fit. Or maybe not. I don't know. They will probably soon attack Bolivia, though. That is something that will, in fact, perhaps happen. And a partisan social liberal activist gains prominence. Carry on. Don't worry about that too much. Modify officer corps. Chief of Navy. Let's get a decisive battle Navy person for the Chief of the Navy. And Imperial ambition will be done soon. And after that, we'll probably end up doing Strike Europe. We'll complete Strike Europe. The monarchist ideals, well, I'm going to read that some other time. But point being, it's going to open up a new part of the focus tree over here that will give us war goals effectively. Well, it will cause civil wars in Europe, well, France, Britain, and Germany. And perhaps I can invite those countries to my faction, or at least start a war. I don't know. Do I want to do that? Kingdom of Spain declared war on the Republic of Ecuador. They're still going at it. Spain is. I could maybe do a new manifest destiny, and that will give us war goals. It will open up this part of the focus tree, and that will allow us to get war goals on more countries instead of just causing civil wars in Europe. I may do that instead, because while starting civil wars are fun, the other path besides Europe and the crosshairs, or a strike Europe, a new manifest destiny would allow us to gain some territory. But with all that said, I'm going to end part 4 of my Novum Vexillum, my USA Monarchist path playthrough in the Hearts of Iron Formon, Novum Vexillum here. You can check out both Novum Vexillum and Novum Vexillum Global Conflict in the video description. The link to both mods are there. And besides that, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe.